I'm using big quite a bit. I'm using the house was big, cat is big. Both of my sisters like to play with the big cat. So in just 3 sentences, I'm using the same word 3 times. Does that get kind of tiring to hear?
Yeah.
Yes. So instead of saying big all the time, then you want to find out what is a different word I could use. What is a more descriptive word I could use? Any ideas? Okay. So you have words like humongous, gigantic, vast, colossal, enormous. So all of these words you could use to replace big. And when she says the cat is big, then maybe you would think, well, does she mean the cat is fat? Does she mean the cat is really like tall? And so maybe you could use a word that's more descriptive, more appropriate. So for instance, my cat is morbidly obese. And then that helps us envision, wow, there's this really, really, really giant cat. Or you might say something like, you might use a comparison like my cat is as huge as a truck or something. You could probably be more creative than that. But by replacing big, crossing out, using a different word, a more descriptive word, then you are using good word choice. So try to use specific words when you can. Instead of saying that girl is nice, say that girl was very kind to me or very friendly. And if you were describing, say, a trip, a lot of people say, well, my trip was nice, my vacation was nice. Just replace that word. Use exciting, peaceful, safe, beautiful, amazing, colorful, cozy, one of those words that gives us more information. Tip number 3 is replace general words with specific words. So you looked at your prompt, you know what kind of writing it is, you're going to start writing your story about a time you were brave, and you're using the same word a lot. That's something that'll get you a lower score because you're not using good word choice. So replace general words with specific words. Instead of saying, my trip was nice, say, my trip was peaceful. And that will definitely earn you a better score when it comes to word choice. And it's a good thing to do even when you're not writing for a test because it's easier for the readers. You get tired of hearing big, big, big all the time. So as a reader, then it's good to consider what words do I like. So for instance, general to specific. Instead of saying dog, you might even explain the kind of dog it was, like the poodle. Tree, you might say the kind of tree. Elm, nice to friendly, loud to booming. These are all examples of how you can take a general word and make it more specific. Add specific details and descriptions of what things look like, smell like, feel like, and sound like. Life doesn't happen in black and white and like it does on a movie screen. You know, we actually experience it. We feel things. We hear things, and you need to make that come through on your writing so it's not two-dimensional, it's not flat. Why would it be important to add specific details and descriptions? Like when you're writing, say if you're writing about something that happened to you, why would you want to add specific details?
Why do you want to add the specific details? So you won't change the topic. So you won't change the topic.
I'm sorry?
So you won't change the topic.
So you won't change the topic? Yeah, if you add specific details about the thing which you're talking about, then it's staying on topic. That's a good point. So when you add specific details, another thing is that it helps the person reading really see what you're talking about more. And when you write descriptively, when you add details, then you really bring the reader into your experience. For example, you might say something like the beach is beautiful, but that gets us to we don't really see a specific beach. Instead, if you said something like the beach is beautiful, the sand sparkles in the sun and the air smells like salt and shipwrecks. Then you kind of see that sparkling sand and you smell the salt and shipwrecks because the person is writing about it. So let's practice. We're going to choose one of these phrases to add supporting details to. My cat is crazy, the casserole was disgusting, or my room is messy. Which one of these should we write about, expand on, add details to.
Which one? Which one of those do you want to write about? The casserole was disgusting.
Okay, so raise your hand. Raise your hand for the cat.
Raise your hand if you want to do the cat.
Raise your hand for the casserole. Ooh, or raise your hand for the messy room. Okay, was it the casserole or the cat?
It's the casserole.
The cat. Oh, the casserole?
Yes.
The casserole. Okay, we're doing the casserole. So, what are some, I'm sure you all have had a pretty bad, gross kind of meal before. I know that I've had a couple. So tell me, think back to times when you had a really disgusting meal. Maybe it was a casserole. What were some of the things that you tasted? What made it so bad? Was it burnt? Was it gone bad? Why was that meal so bad? And let's take those details and put them on our casserole sense. So, the casserole was disgusting. Well, what made it disgusting? You know, so anyone want to tell me what made it so disgusting? Maybe what does it look like? Does it look disgusting? It had tufts of green mold on it. How about that? So we actually see the mold. Very good. Okay, the casserole is disgusting. It had tufts of green mold on it. What else? Okay, I'm not able to hear you when you all talk at the same time. So let's get one person to go at a time. Please speak up. It wasn't cooked right. Okay, so was it too cooked? Or was it burnt? Or was it undercooked? Was it kind of raw?
It was
undercooked. Okay. It wasn't fully cooked, and so there were juicy raw bits that it felt like goo inside your mouth. Okay, what else?
Go ahead, Joanne. Nice and loud, though.
Okay. It didn't belong in a human stomach at all. It belonged in the garbage. It tasted like trash. Okay. What are some details you're going to say about the smell? Other senses. Smell, look, what else?
What else did you write? Go ahead, Acing. Nice and loud. It had roaches in it.
It had mushrooms in it?
Roaches.
I'm sorry?
Cockroaches.
Oh, gross. Okay. There were cockroaches crawling on the inside. Okay, there were cockroaches eating away at the inside of the casserole, and if you sliced into it, the knife would come out covered in crawling insects. Okay? We've made this casserole just about as gross as it could possibly be. Is there anything else that could make it even more disgusting? What about smell? We haven't really talked about what it smells like. Think of all the bad food you've ever smelled and put that together. What does it smell like? Okay. But the worst part was the smell. It stunk of dog poop. Okay. I'm pretty sure that there is no way any of you have ever eaten something quite this bad. If you have, I'm amazed that you're still alive. So, let's take a look at our completed, very descriptive passage here. The casserole was disgusting and had tufts of green mold on it. It wasn't fully cooked, and so there were juicy raw bits. It felt like goo inside your mouth. It didn't belong in a human stomach at all. It belonged in the garbage. It tasted like trash. There were cockroaches eating away at the inside of the casserole, and if you sliced into it, the knife would come out covered in crawling insects. But the worst part of it was the smell. It stunk of dog poop. So, pretty descriptive here. Now there's still things, this isn't a perfect, absolutely perfect passage. There's still things where we could maybe take out some of it. We could replace some of the it's, like it, you know, and that can get a little repetitive. So by looking at a sentence, by making it more descriptive, adding descriptive details, and using good word choice, so maybe for instance in the future we could replace some of those it's with casserole, or the dish, or something like that, then you're able to take a formerly kind of not that interesting sentence, the casserole was disgusting, and you're able to make it into this really interesting passage. Now, of course, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're staying on topic. So if the casserole is like totally a side thing, if you're just mentioning it and it's not a main part of the story, then you maybe don't want to have all of this description. You might want to stop the mold. If your story is entirely about the casserole and a time that you had to eat the casserole, then you would want to have this much description. So the amount of description you want to have will be different depending on what your main idea is, what you're writing about. So let's review our goals from the rubric. Anyone know what a rubric is? Well, the rubric determines how many points you'll get. Yeah, it's basically, a rubric is the things that you'll be graded on. So it might include something like how you've developed your ideas and content, kind of word choice you're using. One thing which appears very commonly is using language effectively by exhibiting word choices that are engaging and appropriate for intended audience and purpose. So what does that mean? Word choices that are engaging and appropriate for intended audience and purpose. Well, basically what it is saying is, there's a few different parts. So we talked about how important it is to know your audience, right? So that are appropriate for intended audience. That's like when you take the BMX, and instead of just saying the BMX, you say the BMX racing bike. When you explain things because your intended audience may not know about them. And purpose, when you're using words that fit your purpose and the word choices are engaging and appropriate. So they're interesting and they work for the goal that you're trying to get to. So it's pretty simple actually. When you look at your prompt, you want to think about what is my purpose, who is my audience, what is my perspective. You might pre-write to organize your ideas, and when you write, try to use word choices that are specific, not general, and to describe. Write for your audience, explain who or what you were talking about. So we all know Annie, my friend from down the street, rode around the corner on her BMX racing bike, so defining key terms. Or for dinner we ate milanesa, the Mexican version of chicken fried steak, because not everybody is going to know what those terms mean. Tip number 4, make a point. Have your idea, have your main idea developed. Interesting writing makes a point. In order to create powerful writing from a prompt, you need to turn your topic into a point or main idea. So if your topic is penguins, you need to have a main idea. For the persuasive writing example that I gave you earlier was that penguins are really awesome creatures or are great animals. For this one, another animal. Topic idea, squirrels. Main idea, flying squirrels make great pets. Topic sentence, flying squirrels make great pets because they are intelligent and entertaining. So there you have reasons, intelligent and entertaining, which you might go in and expand on. So when you have a persuasive writing prompt, then it's very important, especially with persuasive writing, that you have reasons to back up your opinion or your idea. Like this is a good example. For a role model prompt, who is your role model? Tell us about your role model. And this one is, it has a good hook, or something to draw the reader in. As I sit here and ponder over who my role model really is, many names come to my weary mind. It could be a singer, an actress, or maybe even one of my extraordinary friends in my day-to-day life. Although many of these people are good role models, I chose Amelia Earhart over them all. Why Amelia, you might be asking yourself. Out of the many reasons I could have chosen her for, I picked the following. She never gave up her dream, succeeded in her dreams, and showed America and many other countries that a woman can do a man's job. So in this prompt, you see that the author has a main idea, they have reasons to support the idea, and they have an interesting way of introducing it. So, what do you do when you look at a prompt? What are some of the first things you want to do?
First, you have to read the topics to see what they're talking about.
You want to read it, you want to see the topic, what are they talking about? Very good. What are some questions you would ask yourself?
There were some questions you might ask yourself about the prompt. There are some questions you might ask yourself about the prompt. Go ahead, Caitlin. What is the purpose?
What is the purpose? Great. What else do you ask?
Go ahead, Natalie. Who is your audience?
Who is your audience? Great. What else?
What is the art trying to tell you?
What are you trying to tell? What is your perspective? Great. So look at a prompt, ask yourself these questions, organize your ideas, and use good word choices. So I hope that you all remember the different kinds of writing: persuasive, expository, and narrative. And maybe you can use the penguin example if that helps you remember. And you guys have been great students. I really appreciate how much you guys have learned today, because this is definitely, I know that you're all in 3rd grade, right? Oh, 4th, okay. And this is a presentation which it's often, a lot of 5th graders, a lot of 6th graders, and so I'm really impressed by you being 4th graders that you're able to really understand a lot of this information, take a lot of it in, especially I know I was speaking kind of fast at certain times, so thanks so much. I really enjoyed talking to you guys, and I hope that you have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.